As a Keralite, much of you people who are tracking Sukumara Kurup news for years together have so much unlimited information available out there around the history, the mystery, the crime, the criminal, the fact, the fiction around Sukumara Kurup that obviously there is a certain image, there is a certain expectation that people have from this movie, and someone that is not attached to this information over the years, such as me, also has a very realistic expectation of a realistic criminal that is somewhere still lurking out there potentially. This movie chooses to go the dramatic route and to dramatize certain events and does not really deliver, I think, to the full extent and potential of these facts and fiction that exist around Sukumara Kurup. It does not really go on the creepy way, the sort of criminal aspect of it. It mostly relies on certain dramatic elements to present the story, thus making it just a Kurup movie and not the Kurup movie that it could have been. With such a stellar star cast, with such a good production value and even good filmmaking skills that is clearly visible in the movie could have gone a different direction as most people expected. However, that is not to say that this is not a good movie. This movie is actually extremely entertaining and definitely something that delivers on that front of being an entertainer. The movie can be divided into 3 to 4 parts, and I like 3 parts. I did not like the 4th part so much. And this is actually in chronological order. One part is the Air Force activities of Kurup, definitely something worth watching, enjoyable to understand his personality, his life. The second is the trip back to the village where Tom Chacko shines in, becomes pretty much the lead actor at that point and just kills it and slays in his role and delivers a knockout performance. That particular village portion of the story, hyper interesting sequence there. And then Indrajith takes over with, again, superb performance as the cop who is trying to chase down Kurup, and those 2 segments are extraordinarily interesting, while the first segment of Kurup and the Air Force is pretty charming to watch. Dulquer Salmaan has really done a good job and a mature, laid back performance here, as you know, very charming, sort of enigmatic personality that he has in this movie. However, the 4th part, which is the last part of the movie where we explore, what all Kurup did, what all he did abroad, those characters are introduced, the foreign contact, the smuggling aspect, the prince abroad, all of that is unveiled, and then suddenly the movie just goes so fast and ends. And to me, that was just extremely a different experience from the first 3 parts that we had witnessed. The first 3 parts, the pacing, the storytelling had a certain tune to it, a certain music to it, and then in the last 30 minutes the film just started going and wrapping it up and saying we're done with this story because now we're just bundling a bunch of facts and presenting some ifs and what not could have happened, what ifs, and just throwing it to the audience. I did not enjoy that part. Again, the entire movie was entertaining, but that part to me, it just didn't sit right. It didn't feel right. I didn't feel like that should have been the conclusion. I didn't feel like that is how the movie should have ended. That is how the last 30 minutes should have wrapped up. That is where the direction and the writing should have gone. And to make it worse, in the end of the movie, they say Alexander loading, as if there's going to be a Kurup 2, and they sort of dramatize it and make it such as a Lucifer type movie. They make it sort of like a cool criminal type movie, and this is not a cool criminal movie that we are here to worship. This is not about glamorizing Kurup and making him this enigmatic, always escaping, never to be caught sort of a figure. Yes, that may be the fact, but the fact and the reality is rooted in a different zone and not in this overly stylized international Lucifer, personality changing, shape shifting sort of image that they sort of built. And again, absolutely no conclusion on what happened on that ship at the end there when the prince calls out his name. No spoilers, I'm just saying these things. We don't really know what happened. The movie ends with a stylish smile from DQ. Like, why are you stylish smiling at the screen? Aren't you finished at this point? Nothing of that was shown. A lot of assumptions at the end there, that this happened, that happened, that happened. The story they started winding pieces together. Suddenly, someone meets Indrajith in the library after nowhere. Like, so much going on at the end that I absolutely did not like, in terms of the writing, in terms of the delivery, in terms of the path they took. But up until that point, everything was going right. So I really wish they had taken advantage of the opportunity and done something way better than they did with this movie. Once again, all performances were great, on point, entertaining movie, good pacing, great background music. But I just wish that they went in a different route. I definitely do not want to watch Alexander as a Kurup 2. I do not want to watch that movie. That is not something that anybody cares to watch. I would rather have them remake Kurup the right way with some other cast and crew and explore that area eventually if they do. I'm going with 3 stars for Kurup because it is a very standard entertainer, but nothing to take away from, nothing to be impressed about, nothing that lives up to the true crime aspect. That should have been a little darker, that should have been a little more serious, and should have handled it in a more sensitive way. There are so many people out there, including so many cops, that are sensitive to this situation, that have spent their lives trying to get hold of this, and to glamorize the criminal in this way at the end, I don't think is justified, and is not too filmy for me to give it more than a 3-star rating and to approach it from that end. That was my review of Kurup. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys learned, what you guys understood from the movie, how you liked it. Leave your comments below. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, share this video, and keep watching for much more.